After a night of bar hopping, a woman was too drunk to drive. As she began to leave one bar, the manager walked her outside hoping to call her a cab. When they approached her car, however, the drunken woman launched an attack after the manager took one look and saw what was in the vehicle, prompting a call to police. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Dailydose, like, and share this video with your friends. Catherine Durham was enjoying a Saturday night out when she headed to Louie's Bar and Grill in Oklahoma City. She wasn't there long before the staff realized the woman was drunk and had been bar hopping. Almost immediately after consuming just 2 alcoholic beverages she ordered at Louie's, 33-year-old Durham began acting intoxicated, KFOR reports. The seemingly sudden intoxication from just 2 drinks was a red flag for the staff. Soon, their suspicions were confirmed as Durham revealed she had been drinking at other local bars before she stopped at Louie's, according to witnesses. She consumed just 2 shots while spending 30 minutes at Louie's, according to the manager. And witnesses say that was enough to leave her slurring her words and falling down drunk. It was obvious she was in no condition to drive. She started getting a little slurry, and I told her you should probably get a cab and drink some water, one of the bartenders told the local news, according to Inquisitor. She said she needed to get something out of her car. But having this woman get behind the wheel in her impaired condition was not a chance bar employees were willing to take. So when Durham attempted to leave, an unnamed manager followed her outside, offering to find her a ride. That's when something in Durham's car caught the manager's eye. Strapped into a car seat was Durham's 8-month-old child, who she had left alone in the back seat of the vehicle while the mom went drinking. Since there was no way the manager could let Durham get behind the wheel with an innocent child on board, she attempted to take the woman's keys. That's when Durham became aggressive, grabbing the female manager by her hair. Luckily, the manager was able to call 911. But before authorities could arrive, witnesses say the highly intoxicated woman tried to get in the car and drive away with the baby in the back. Fortunately, they were able to stop her from leaving long enough for police to respond to the scene. When officers arrived shortly after midnight, they found Durham walking behind the building as if trying to hide, holding her young child in her arms, according to News 9. The heavily intoxicated woman tripped and fell as officers watched, but thankfully the baby wasn't harmed. Catherine Durham was arrested, charged with child endangerment, and booked into the Oklahoma County Jail. Because of the mother's extreme level of intoxication and the fact that the baby was left alone in the vehicle for 30 minutes that authorities knew of, thanks to the witnesses and staff at Louie's, the child was placed into protective custody. The infant was reportedly released to Durham's neighbor, who works for the Department of Health Services. The staff at Louie's Bar and Grill have been rightfully credited with protecting an infant. Thankfully, the bartenders were paying attention and realized that Catherine Durham wasn't just a little tipsy, she was really drunk. And rather than turn a blind eye, they went above and beyond, trying to get the woman to call a cab and even following her outside. Their diligence likely saved many lives that night. The events of that night at Louie's Bar and Grill serve as a powerful reminder of the responsibility that rests with those who serve alcohol. Bartenders and bar staff are often the last line of defense between a potentially deadly situation and a tragedy averted. It is their vigilance and swift action that can make all the difference. In this case, their quick thinking prevented what could have been a horrific accident, not just for Catherine Durham, but for her innocent child and anyone else who might have crossed paths with her on the road. Drunk driving is one of the leading causes of fatal accidents in the United States. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, every day about 32 people in the United States die in drunk driving crashes. That's one person every 45 minutes. In 2020 alone, 11,654 people died in alcohol-impaired driving traffic deaths. These staggering statistics underscore the critical importance of preventing intoxicated individuals from getting behind the wheel. In Catherine Durham's case, the danger was even more pronounced because she had her 8-month-old child in the car. The risks associated with driving under the influence are exponentially increased when there is a child in the vehicle. Studies have shown that children involved in drunk driving incidents are far more likely to suffer severe injuries or fatalities. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, about 20% of child passenger deaths in the United States involve a driver who had a blood alcohol concentration, BAC, of 0.08% or higher, the legal limit for drivers age 21 and over. But the potential danger extends beyond just the immediate physical risks. Children who are exposed to such reckless behavior may suffer long-term psychological effects. Growing up in an environment where substance abuse and reckless behavior are normalized can lead to a cycle of similar behavior in adulthood. It's a sobering reminder of the far-reaching consequences of such actions, not just for the individuals involved, but for society as a whole. The fact that Durham attempted to drive away with her child despite her severe level of intoxication illustrates the impaired judgment that alcohol can cause. Alcohol affects the brain's frontal lobes, which control important functions such as planning, decision-making, impulse control, and the ability to form judgments. When these functions are impaired, as they were in Durham's case, individuals are far more likely to make dangerous and irresponsible decisions. This is why it's crucial for those around them to intervene when they see someone who is clearly intoxicated trying to drive. It's not just bartenders and bar staff who have a responsibility to act in these situations. Friends, family members, and even strangers who witness someone attempting to drive while intoxicated must take action. The idea of not wanting to get involved or fearing an uncomfortable confrontation pales in comparison to the potential consequences of inaction. It's important to remember that by stepping in, you could be saving lives, including the life of the person you're stopping from driving. In this case, the staff at Louis' Bar and Grill not only saved the life of Catherine Durham's child, but also likely prevented a broader tragedy. It's not difficult to imagine what could have happened if Durham had been allowed to drive away that night. A drunk driver is a ticking time bomb on the road, with the potential to cause catastrophic harm to themselves and others. The fact that this particular incident didn't end in disaster is a testament to the importance of vigilance and the courage to intervene. However, the story of Catherine Durham also serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of alcohol consumption and the need for personal responsibility. While bars and those around us can do their best to prevent drunk driving, the ultimate responsibility lies with the individual. It's crucial for people to recognize their limits, to understand the risks associated with alcohol, and to take steps to ensure they don't put themselves or others in harm's way. This incident also highlights the importance of public awareness campaigns aimed at reducing drunk driving. Over the years, various campaigns such as Buzzed Driving is Drunk Driving and Friends Don't Let Friends Drive Drunk have played a crucial role in educating the public about the dangers of driving under the influence. These campaigns have helped to shift public perception and have contributed to a significant decrease in drunk driving incidents. However, as this case demonstrates, there is still much work to be done. It's also worth noting the role of law enforcement in addressing drunk driving. Police officers are often the first line of defense in identifying and stopping drunk drivers before they can cause harm. In this case, the prompt response of the officers ensured that Durham was apprehended before she could endanger her child or anyone else on the road. Law enforcement agencies across the country continue to prioritize the detection and prevention of drunk driving through sobriety checkpoints, increased patrols, and public education efforts. But preventing drunk driving is not just about enforcement. It's also about providing individuals with alternatives. Programs like Safe Ride, which offer free or discounted rides home for individuals who have been drinking, are essential tools in the fight against drunk driving. By giving people a safe and convenient alternative to driving while intoxicated, these programs can help to reduce the number of drunk drivers on the road and save lives. In conclusion, the story of Catherine Durham serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of drunk driving and the importance of intervention. The staff at Louis' Bar and Grill demonstrated the critical role that bartenders, waitstaff, and bystanders play in preventing tragedies. Their actions likely saved multiple lives that night, and their story should inspire others to take similar actions when faced with a similar situation. But beyond just the immediate danger of drunk driving, this incident also underscores the need for continued public education, responsible alcohol consumption, and effective law enforcement. While we have made significant progress in reducing drunk driving over the years, there is still much work to be done. Every life lost to drunk driving is one too many, and it is up to all of us to do our part in preventing these tragedies. As we move forward, let's remember the lessons of this case and continue to prioritize the safety and well-being of our communities. Whether you're a bartender, a friend, or just someone passing by, never underestimate the power you have to make a difference. By staying vigilant, taking responsibility, and not hesitating to step in when necessary, we can all play a role in preventing drunk driving and protecting the most vulnerable among us. Let this incident serve as a reminder that it only takes one poor decision to change lives forever, but it also only takes one person to intervene and prevent a potential disaster. In the end, the choice to act could be the difference between life and death.